¿Me puede ayudar?
¿Qué pasó?
Es que yo venía con un grupo de personas y me dejaron botar y no sé dónde están.
¿Vienes con tu mamá o tu papá?
Nadie. Yo venía en un grupo que venía de entrega con usted y al final me dejaron botar y venía aquí a pedir auxilio.
I think that it's important to understand that if at some point they're at the border and they get separated, whether it's because the parent, confides their child to someone else, entrusts their child to someone else, we really have to look at what are the reasons why they're doing that, what are the conditions, and what have they been promised. I think that one of the reasons is obviously because there's certain instability that's political, economic in their home countries, as well as social. What they want is be able to find a better life for their child. Smugglers have always played a role in bringing people to the United States, but it's not heightened in the sense of what you see in the media. It's not that the smugglers are recruiting and increasing the number of people so that they can get them across. They're one factor of how people get here, but they're not the primary factor that people get here. They find themselves in these remote areas and they find themselves lost, it's because we in the United States do not have the system to welcome them, to process them in a way that's orderly. The Trump administration has completely destroyed the asylum system that, even though it was weak previously, it was a system that was in place, and it's completely destroyed it. And so now the Biden administration is trying to rebuild it, and at the same time trying to address the need of people that are coming, of children that are coming. We need welcoming centers that immediately address the social needs and that also provide avenues for reunification with the family members who are here. You have a law enforcement agency, which is the Border Patrol, who has been trained on treating criminals, not on treating people who haven't committed a crime and who have only seeking refuge in a country. I think that that's where we need to focus on, because then that in itself keeps people from having to find alternative means that can put them in danger.
The only people we're not going to let sitting there on the other side of the Rio Grande by themselves with no help are children.
The fact that children are exempt from that doesn't necessarily create the situation of saying, oh, that's the only reason why you have such a high number, or that people are taking advantage and therefore sending their children. That's not the case. The political pundits and sometimes the media, overanalyzes. I think it's important for us to remember and to understand that it's not necessarily driven by policy. It's driven by a human need in terms of what's happening. And right now, actually, at the beginning of the year is when you traditionally see an increase of people coming and seeking seeking to enter the country, seeking asylum. It's really devastating to see a child. I mean, I have an 11-year-old. That could be my kid. I'm sure any parent, or any person would feel, terrible that something like this would happen to the child. But I do think that instead of, taking these videos and placing the blame on migrants because they're out in the desert, that's not going to solve an issue. The issue needs to be solved with policy.